So I started the recording, but this is what I'm learning. In life, there's no off and on button. And often I find that we go to these meditations and it's like a door we go through. We sit in that room for a little while. We feel wonderful, expand. And then we go back out. And of course, we have our usual people and places and environments that trigger us back into our patterns. So it's just a little metaphor that as I'm beginning this meditation today, I'm Jan Jorgensen, Be the Light Meditations every Wednesday morning, that we are creatures of habit, and that what if there was no on button, that now I'm a spiritual person and I'm going to have a spiritual experience. And what if we could be in that bubble of light all the time? And I say it's a bubble of light because, in fact, the world itself is holding such the word distasteful, unattuned energies that we really do need to delineate our energy field from the all that is. In fact, it's the only thing we have any control over. It's the only thing that we do have full responsibility to maintain and hold. And so my favorite teacher, Caroline Corey, always says, well, before you go to sleep, you go through your day and see all the times that you became unaligned or unattuned with your highest vibrational profile, and go ahead and unwind that and come back to your center. And I often wondered why she never would get out of her zone. And she said in one of her interviews, she checks herself throughout the day. If something comes up, she just immediately feels it and senses it and says, I don't want to experience this. I don't want to be in reaction. And she goes to the feeling and she uses the Be the Light method. Of course, I gleaned the Be the Light method, the tools that I brought to you from Caroline and many other wonderful teachers. But we have the tool to do what? I ask and intend to set a sacred space that separates us from everything else, even our loved ones. It's just us, our vibrational field. We have more to give our loved ones if we're truly in our center and in our seat and not over there in their energy field, which confuses everyone. So that's why we do the same steps. I ask and intend to set a sacred space. I place a beautiful healing geometric structure. We call it the holon of balance. That's from sound healer Tom Kenyon. And then what? We remove everybody else's energy. And then we simply allow ourselves to receive the flow of the spiritual energies that are already there, flowing through the grid of all that is, all the time, that we are simply bypassing in our busyness. So before we begin the actual Be the Light meditation process today, and I'm set up with all of my instruments, which you really can't see. I'll adjust the camera once we get going. But sometimes I am drawn to bring some sort of a reading or a book. And this just happened to be on an interesting page. Of course, here's a little reminder, you are loved. We need all the help we can get, right? We're lovable, we're valuable. And this seemed to fit today and this topic. The cosmic perspective is one of gentle patience and makes the world's attention to detail and acquisition a thing to be laughed at and dismissed. I marveled at the bigger design, the thoughts which create the realities we all live and breathe and which are upheld by no condition of the universe, how we truly create the realities we experience and plan it all so carefully to bring us to this moment of revelation. Revelation is the moment you receive the light that enhances the consistency and forms of truth, standing out in the field of the untruth as undeniable truths. And I smiled as I passed, for I knew where I was going, and the body was well contented with the end of this life and the beginning of the journey into being light. I stood on the mountain, and this was the moment of my reckoning, the moment when all that I had chosen was made known to me, and the position of the soul was accorded, and all was made real, and all was remembered. As I stood, the realms began to emerge, and there was a resounding of all levels. There was a calling which stirred me within, gently making me aware of the truth of who I am, the daughter of time, the woman of all ages, the wife of the gods, the child of the people, the wife and the lover, the mother of all humans and spirit. All were one in that moment, the roles merging to bring me an identity which transcended the need of the human experience to define it. Take a nice deep breath through your nose and out through the mouth. This week, I posted onto our SOAR, Sounding Our Authentic Resonance Facebook page, as I frequently do, but 3 different posts came up that what if a woman was in charge of the world? What if women were in charge of the seats of power? We all learn at the foot of the mother, the energy of the mother, of nurturing, gender neutral. And when the mother holds things, everyone breathes a sigh of relief because the right things will happen. When the true mother principles, the vibrations of truth, beauty, love, and goodness, connection, collaboration, community, are working models within a home, the child can open their heart to safety and trust and love. So we are mothering, holding all the beings because we are connected. We are intricately connected, and we are having a very distasteful, confusing, how could it happen in 2022, major war. And even though it feels far away, it is occurring in our hearts and in our bodies, and we are like the mother whose children are not getting along. There is something not right. There is something which we are hoping for and holding this oneness for finally the children to stop saying, well, if we kill each other, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. And these children are even killing Mother Earth. So how does this relate to you listening to this? It starts with you. How are you holding your vibration? Are you being the mother? The word mother, in anthroposophical terms, the M, heaven and earth meet with the two lips. The words coming from the mother, heaven and earth launching. The word other is included. And with mother, there is no other. Everyone in that home, the neighborhood kids who are hungry and not so happy at their own homes, the tired aunt, everyone is included in the table for food and respite. And how are you doing, dear? Simple presence and witnessing. The mother nurtures, maneuvers, allows, and she holds home. She holds the closest thing to heaven here in a human model and form. That's why we have Mother Mary and Kuan Yin. And that's why even men hold the goddess to come back home. We're all born of the womb. How can we be a mother? How can we be the mother first and foremost to ourselves? It begins with you mothering yourself, sitting at the table of food and plenty, feeling deserving, that you have the value, to have your turn to speak up at the table in the family with no interruptions, to have a closet, to have your clothes. It works in so many subtle ways. To have your sense of place and love in your own home. Today, when we finish this meditation in this short 45 minutes, and it will be 45 minutes because the plumber was supposed to be here at 8, he didn't come at 8, and I said, well, now you can't come till 9:45 because I'm giving a talk. Do not knock on that door. That's life. That's the mother saying, well, I guess you didn't time traffic very well. Okay, natural consequences. You can't come till 9:45 because I value this time and what we are doing. We must value our creations. So this is the focus of today's meditation. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We are asking to embody and model and hold the divine principles of creation to the image of the feminine, the mother, the holder of the candle of hope when things are dark, the one who doesn't point out the obvious when people already know they need to change, but instead witnesses and holds a space of unconditional love. We call in all the goddesses, all the beautiful goddesses that hold these archetypes and images, And I'm going to ask that you choose the goddess or the archetype that is most closely aligned with that being that you would love to emulate and have be your mentor for this process today. We ask and intend that this being be present with you here now for a little journey. On this journey, take your attention into your heart and feel the beautiful heart of the divine being, the goddess mother image. More than an image, a presence next to you. Feel the energy moving and your heart opening and releasing all the old stories that you're not lovable or your mother didn't give you. All those priceless first developmental steps because she was trustworthy and loved herself. We release our own mother and our caregivers for all that they did and were, for we do believe they did all that they knew. And as we release the past, we are emptying out our hearts with new vibrations, new self-images. This being of light takes your hand, and you take a nice deep breath together. And notice that your energy fields are overlapping. You notice that there is a beautiful warm flame in this divine being's heart. And she is simply lighting a divine candle from this light in her heart of truth, beauty, love, and goodness, and asks you for permission to light the candle in your heart. For this beautiful exchange, imagine that you are sitting now side by side, and you take a simultaneous breath together, and she gently lights the candle from the flame of eternal love within her heart, and moves the candle over to your heart and very gently finds the wick. And there she lights the light of love and co-creation with Source and all that is within your own heart now. You sense the luminous sparks of awakening. You feel your veins and your arteries filling with new words, new light, warmth, a softness, an assuredness and confidence of presence and place and value. You feel the security of your right to occupy the space that you are holding in this earth, on this earth at this time. You need no permission from external realms to do or speak your truth. You are feeling a new delight and joy of finally feeling at home in your own body. And you are inwardly writing a prayer to never abandon this again, but to hold it and embody and merge with this energy so deeply that it is your new foundational structure. It's who you are to the bone. The divine being goddess that is supporting and assisting this lighting of your light extends her hand and puts it right on your heart. Because she is of the universal realms of light, she sends connecting rays of luminous strings of light through her hand that connect your heart to all that is. All parts of you are woven together simultaneously. Each breath is a wave of joy to be present in a physical body and to be home, residing with Source, all at the same time. You see all the children of the world, all of the souls in the various state of developmental stuckness. And you simply raise your arms and feel free to raise your arms now and see the light radiating from your hands out to the tired souls, the souls that are still seeking home. May feel the balm and the light of your presence as a divine being here, as a transducer, a placeholder for a real human being among their midst to speak the truth, walking the path as a human, now divine. All time melts. You are feeling free to look down the historical lineage of your family and bring light to all the dinner tables, all the conversations. And you are looking to the future, imagining you are sitting at the table, the breakfast table with your loved ones, calmly illuminating light under the radar. So there is no great announcement or costume. Same name, same body, but the divine essence and shift is palpable. Perhaps unrecognized by your own family, but noticed and resonating with the other brothers and sisters awakening now on this earth, who are welcoming you to the larger table of connection and resources and full remembrance of your work and path here on this earth as a physical body, choosing to embody the light of Source to recreate earth in the image that God has planned for us. As I stood on the mountain, the earth continued to teach me, and I listened through the pores of my toes and my heels and the arches in between, standing with my feet firmly planted on her back, and she was exultant. For we had ended an era and we were beginning another, and all was for the purpose of the coming together of all ages. Future, present, past, all now the same. In this template of our knowing. The images of the people played before me, those I had loved and those I had been scorned by, and those I had scorned, and I knew that my destiny depended on loving them and myself so totally that I remembered the bond of the soul which made us one. The truth of all time spun around me. Faces merged into light. Revolving around my consciousness, I stood and drew the light unto me as a flame. And as it drew closer, the world began to fade, and with it all the rules, the actions, the reactions, the grudges, the memories of separation. And I knew I was going home. Take a nice deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Allow yourself to feel and sense all that is yours now, all that is available to you, all that is. Let this energy flow into every cell, every part of your being, so that you are healed. Take a nice deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And notice that you and the divine feminine being with you are no longer alone. See and feel the rows, the circles of divine beings here surrounding you now and supporting and holding you within this 0 point, a profound awakening and remembering and anchoring and grounding these vibrations into your being for good. Meaning, for good, they will never go away. Meaning, for good, they bring goodness. So, as we bring this meditation process to a close, imagine how you will thank this divine being who has assisted and supported you in this process. Perhaps a bow, a kiss, a hug. Connect with this being who is there for you always, for any little tune-ups or remembrance rituals. So with our hearts full of gratitude, we recognize how important this process has been for us and for our beloveds and for the world. For truly these shards of light coming through you are reaching those in distress anywhere on this earth now. And all you need to do is take a deep breath and ask to be the light anytime during the day. Hold your hands up, receive the light, and let any occurrence dissipate. Regain your core of light and radiate. Radiate out this light. They have special photography now that shows that this is indeed the case. When we think we are radiating light and we are connected, we are indeed radiating light, changing the electromagnetic field. So let's go ahead and do a little semi-closure here. We're creating a beautiful, beautiful bubble, a ball of light around our physical body to protect us and hold us throughout the day. So we're moving along. Take a nice deep breath, and in a moment, I will take it off record and we can come back together and say any experiences that we had or any sharings. And I'm going to stop the recording now um, and put it on the website, which is soundandlighthealingarts.com. I'm Jan Jorgensen to Be the Light Meditation, and we do it every single week. And it takes the village. I have to mention that it's so funny. I've been putting on my eyeshadow the same way for, well, probably 50 years. And my older sisters always said I look like a raccoon. So we have a loving member in this community. I won't mention her name, but she's a makeup artist. She's gorgeous. And she suggested that I let go of that and that maybe I just do just a little bit of eyeliner. So if I look extra glamorous today or you notice a difference, it's because of this divine being. She's on the call. That's why I said it. I appreciate how we help each other. Okay. Stop that recording. And we're going to come into, guess the plumber's not here yet, which is good. Come to gallery. And there we are. Oh.